I think you have to consent in. It might take a second.
Usually I'm the one broadcasting, so I never know where that button is.
I think it's like on the party
Yeah, it's like
itself.
right at the top.
So do you consent, Testa?
Yeah, I could. Yeah,
Good,
I think I.
because already Testa has said many memorable things that went unrecorded. Because life is terrible. Um, so part 3 out of question mark of oh hey, my first time seeing Testa in the new game. Testa here is
What do I do there to?
yeah, that's all I got. Because I can't blow a
Yeah.
kiss. Because that didn't carry forward. So instead, all I could do is I like that we both did pick the same one though. Testa here, like probably most everyone else I'm playing with, is one of my Hero Squad buddies, one of the OG Hero Squad buddies. He took me under his wing early on, and we were Taken King buddies. We had both taken off the whole first week of the Taken King. Are you looking for Destiny Dream Daddy, by the way? Did you find him yet?
Yeah, I found him. I gotta
Yeah,
start the adventure now.
that's what according to Santy, and I'm never gonna let the world forget that this is a Santy original. He is called Destiny Dream Daddy. So
I
that's his new name.
mean, not a terrible title.
Yeah.
If you gotta have a title in a game, that's not a bad one to have.
So it's official. We're making it. We're making fetch happen. But yeah. So Tess and I had both taken off the whole week of Taken King, and we played until our eyes bled. I think the most, I want to say memorable moment, but it was also upsetting, was the first day the Taken King dropped, and we got it in our heads to do the daily story mission, which turned out to be the final story of the campaign, Regicide, which at severely underleveled. Correct me if I'm wrong, but wouldn't you say that felt almost as
Yeah.
hard as like the hard mode raid ended up feeling?
Yeah, that was a series of bad decisions.
Well, it was like, because we didn't realize, because we had rushed through the campaign. So, we didn't realize that the daily story mission was the final mission. Like, so that didn't register until we were halfway through it. We thought that we had beaten the boss, and we're like, great. No, that was like the pre-boss. That was the mini-boss. Shit. Oh, it's the final story mission. Shit. Any sane group would have just said, ah, we tried. We didn't. We tried for like 3 hours. We seriously beat our heads against that shit for 3 fucking hours, locked in a room with Oryx, which, knowing what we know now about the raid, we would have had plenty of other opportunities in our life to just be locked in a room with Oryx for 3 hours. We didn't need to, like, get that done the first
Nope.
day.
Oh. And it didn't even really help in terms of like light level or anything
No!
either.
No! It was the stupidest. We were stubborn. We were stubborn. We just that can-do spirit mixed with pure stupidity. Just like.
Or both. Let's go check it out.
Yeah, we've had some good times, you and I, in the Destiny. Some terrible times, usually involving Oryx. if they announce that, like, so what, they're already teasing that the first DLC is gonna be Osiris, right?
I think, yeah, I mean, that's what the emblems look like.
So we have that, but if they announce the second DLC is like, hey guys, you remember Oryx? He's back. I'm out. I'm done. I'm out. Mm-mm. Nope. Mm-mm.
There's some dusklight. Do you want some dusklight?
I've decided that it's Traveler Dandruff, and yes. Yeah, so, well, in fact, I'll continue the conversation I was having then with you. If if you found out that, like, eating someone's dandruff, not just anyone's, just like there's a random guy on the street passes by, and it turns out you eat his dandruff and you get a superpower, would you do it if it was a grab bag superpower? Like, you can't pick your superpower, you just know you'll get a superpower.
Like, what's the range?
Well, it'll be...
Like, what's the worst case scenario superpower?
Well, it will be... Okay, let's make it... It will generally be something that a fair amount of people might consider a boon, but... So, the example I used for Ben is super smell. There are lots of people who would love to have sharpened senses for whatever reason, not if they live in Garbageville, USA, like I live in, where the intense smells would just actually kill me. So it's like, it's not gonna be like, oh, every time you laugh, excrement flies out your nose. Like, nobody in their right minds would consider that an okay superpower, so it's not gonna be anything, like, universally acknowledged as awful, but you sure as shit can't control it.
I probably would. Eating somebody's dandruff, I mean, it's gross. Wouldn't be the highlight of my day, but it wouldn't be... It wouldn't be, like... It wouldn't be terrible.
Well, it's not the
I could
dandruff
suffer
that gives
through
me
it.
that much pause. Like, that's the thing, it's like, I'm not even pausing at the dandruff, although, I mean, obviously not okay. It's more just the, like, I don't want super smell, or, like, I don't want to see everyone naked. What I said to Ben is like, well, what if you have to, like, see everyone naked? That's not cool. I don't want to see my doctor naked. I don't want to see my family naked. Just, like, you know.
Right, but, I mean, you know, you gotta risk it to earn it. Like, you know, you could get... Here's a chest, by the way. You could get, you know, could fly, or...
Come on back up to the church.
So it's worth the risk.
Be some
for
really
you.
cool superpower.
You're rolling the dice. You're going
Yeah,
for it.
I think so. I think I would roll the dice.
So one thing that makes me very good at my job, in marketing, I have to be very careful with the personal details now that I'm going on voice, but I think marketing is something that about 1 million people do, so I'm safe there. But a large part of my job in marketing involves anticipating what the worst case scenario of an outcome is and doing what I can to work around that. So I think I'm very bad in these situations, because you're like, well, what's the worst that could happen? I'm like, I'm glad you asked. Like, and yet I don't have a brick.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely want to think about the worst case scenario, but you also got to think about the best case scenario. I mean, if there wasn't a best case scenario, nobody'd ever buy a lottery ticket.
True, although something that's I'm very bad at math and statistics, but my friend who, like, literally graduated valedictorian of our college class, who majored in math and statistics, said, my father always said that the lottery is a tax on people who are bad at statistics, and I was like,
Yeah, for people who failed at math.
Yeah.
Another pretty common one.
I'm like,
if you fast travel to the town place, there's a public event going on there.
Oh, nice. And you could do that separately, it seems. That's good, because Ben asked me to do
apparently
that.
when you do that, it doesn't take your party with you.
Yeah, but that's also kind of good that people can then move independently. So yeah, so I guess I mean, look, I actually am kind of an optimistic person, you know, despite my pessimism, but I do think there's something to be said about, you know, you're right, like, you should think about the best case scenario as well as the worst case scenario. See? This is good. We're learning. We're growing. You're dying. Oh,
yeah, I don't know if this is actually a public event or not.
Well, so there are public events, but there are also, like, yellow bar, high-value dudes rolling around, it seems. So, like I was saying to Ben when I was playing with him, is, part of the thing is, like, I hope people are not tuning into my stream or video hoping to, like, get wisdom dropped on them. I figure that niche is covered by people who are better at it than me, and also, I have no idea what's going on. I've just been so busy, I haven't had any time to research or anything, so I don't know. You know, I think I have to play with the I'm not colorblind, but I think I need to play with the colorblind settings, because in Destiny 2, I'm having a lot of trouble differentiating between the blueberries and you, like, on my HUD. I was, like, standing next to Blueberry thinking it was Ben for, like, a whole minute. Are you talking to Dream Daddy or something? It's like, are you up?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm talking to Dream Daddy.
I was just confused because I was like, I saw you overlapped. Well, I'm glad I actually get to play with you again. Testa here and I rarely get to play together because I get home very late and he goes to bed very early. So that quickly became the end of that at some point. Like,
Well, now. Be careful out there.
well, I feel
Evenings are not an easy time.
Well, I feel like you used to stay up a little later, and I used to get home quite a bit earlier. Because I feel like I used to catch you from time to time.
Give you up.
And now it's like, most of the time, if I wasn't home sick right now, and you missed it when me and Ben were playing before, he still had his mouth stuffed with cotton from his wisdom tooth
nice.
extraction. So clearly, I'm the best streamer in the world. I'm sitting here with the compress on my neck because my lymph nodes are trying to strangle me from the inside. And he's like, oh, yeah. So we're very good at this. I'd like to give a shout out to my one stream watcher, Santy. Said that he's joining. Holla to my boy.
Santy.
Wish you were here. Santy would be the Gus. So I was trying to figure out if we were Rooster Teeth. Like, I feel like I feel like Ryan. Like, I want to be the Chaos Agent. I probably have my Gavin moments in terms of just saying stupid shit. We need a Blaine.
Yeah, I don't know.
To kick him out.
I'd probably be Jeff.
Yep, there you go. That's it. I was trying to figure out who you would be, and I couldn't think of it because Jeff hasn't been on in a while, but yes, if we're going by OG,
Yeah, he's pretty rare.
Yeah. Yeah, you're the Jeff, Santy is our Gus. I don't know, I'm Bernie-esque, though. I have the, there's a dust up here. I have the managerial, organizational skills. So for my sinus infection, they gave me prednisone, which makes me a little agitated. It's great. I'm enjoying just feeling like everything's on fire. And so I was wide awake at 4 in the morning yesterday, and I realized that someone at some point had initiated a work chain among a few. I was like, we need to do a happy hour right after Labor Day. Like, when are people available? And like, when should we meet? And the chain went on and on. Well, I could do this day, but not this day. I could do this day, but not it went on and on and on. Never came to any kind of reasonable conclusion. And so there I am at 4 in the morning, like, hey, we never discussed this. And so at 4 in the fucking morning, I hopped up on prednisone. I was like, okay, guys, come on. This is ridiculous. I put together a grid right now. Everybody fill in the times you could do it, and here's the bar we're doing because it has $5 happy hour and apps. Done. I'm just like, I'm the person who will snap and just, like, do that. And then everyone woke up and was like, why the fuck were you up at 4 in the morning? It's like, it's fine. It's all good. Nothing to worry about.
Four a.m.'s not a good time to be up, even if you're like, I'm used to being up at 4 in the morning, and I still don't like being up.
Yeah, it's like, it doesn't feel good whether it's coming or going, basically. Like, whether
No.
you're up early or late. It's like... 4 a.m. equals mistakes were made. I recently, I found myself, I made a crucial life error a couple weeks ago. I was at one bar and was convinced by a tall, douchey frat boy to follow him to a second bar. Never follow a frat boy to a second bar. Just don't. Don't. The second bar he led me to, so if I had left the first bar when I wanted to leave, I would have been leaving at about 1 in the morning sober. Instead, there I am leaving the second bar, which turned out to be a hip-hop nightclub. Yeah, he said bar. It was a nightclub. It was a half an hour walk away in the rain. And we get there, and as soon as we got there, I was like, what? This guy is such a douche. I've made bad life choices. I'm going to leave now. But before I left, I drank a whiskey. So now I'm totally drunk, because as you know, I don't drink whiskey much. You and the rest of the boys handle the whiskey better than I do. So I'm now drunk, and it's 4 in the morning, and I'm on the subway, and I'm kind of dozing off, which is also bad news. And the guy next to me suddenly shouts at the boys across from us, to the woman who the boys are talking to, and he's like to the woman, "Do you even know these guys?" And she's like, "No, I don't know them. They've just been following me." And I was like, "Oh, this is a situation. Shit. Do I have to intervene? I'm too drunk to intervene. It's 4 in the morning, and I'm on the subway, and I've already fucked up so many portions of this night." But I sober up enough, and I wave her over. Come sit next to me. It's fine. Come sit next to me. So she comes and sits next to me and the guy who intervened. And then I see that she's not just drunk, but on stuff, and I have now invited her into my bubble. So she throws her arms around me, gives me a huge hug. She's like, "You're my new best friend," and yeah, she's like, "You're my new best friend," and I was like, "Oh no!"
No thanks. Do not want.
So
Did not apply.
She pulls out her phone and she goes, "So I'm an Instagram supermodel, and..."
Oh.
Yeah, I was in the presence of royalty, Testa. Like, honestly, I don't even know why you think you're allowed to stream with me right now, because I'm clearly, like, on a higher level. But, me and my new best friend, the Instagram supermodel, she starts going,
Looks like the fallen are bringing in a glitter.
I'm dating this, like, NBA guy, but he's cheating on me. Can you believe it? And I was like, no.
Yeah. Kind of.
Well, it's like, there are many parts of this story I can't believe, if we're being honest, but, you terrify me, so I'm just gonna go. So I was like, wow, girl. Yeah. And now the guy who had intervened is also realizing, like, maybe, and so she goes, like, "Let me get your phone number so we can hang out." And I'm like, "Oh, no." and then she goes, do you want to know why I'm on the subway at 4 in the morning? And I was like, no. She leans over, gets real close, and she whispers to me, "I just paid my rent in bills." And I looked at her and said, "I don't know what that means." She's like, "Yeah, you do."
Like cash?
Like, yeah, she meant that she had paid her rent in cash. And that's why she was on the subway at 4 in the morning. And I should understand what that meant. Because I was like,
what does one have to do with the other?
I don't know. She looked at me, she's like, "You know." And then I'm like, what does that say about me? That she's looking at me like, You get this, girl. One of us.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
she could smell the whiskey and regret and frat boy cologne upon me, and just realized I knew somehow where she was coming from. So
Picking up what I'm putting down.
I was afraid to pick it up too much from her, for being honest. Now at this juncture, I'm like, no, don't sit so close to me, please. I'm frightened and still drunk. So then she pulls out her phone again after all this, and she's really adamant this time. She's like, no, but really, give me your phone number so we can hang out. And you know that she would absolutely be the type to then immediately try and call me and make sure it was my real number. So I started giving her my real number, because I'm a bad liar, too. I was like halfway through before she's like, oh, this is my stop, bye, and I was like, oh, thank God. Never have to see her again. And I probably won't, because I'm pretty sure she got murdered later that night, because she did not seem like she was heading down a good path in a dangerous city. Like, yeah. So, I think the moral of the story, again, is just don't follow a frat boy to a second location. Just don't. Or don't follow frat boy at all. Don't talk to frat boys. Just don't. Where did you go?
I'm sitting here trying to figure out, like, I guess you gotta unlock all this stuff in your subclass.
Yeah, and a lot of it you can't, like, so you get upgrade points, but you can't even, like, really use a lot of them. So you basically don't have to overthink what to spend it on, because right now you're just gonna be given just enough points anyway.
Like, there's only one thing you can unlock.
Yeah, so you don't, like, yeah, now is not the point to, well, I don't think any time is the point to overthink it.
All right, Devon. What's next?
Helping me spread the word. We're
Like, I've got
broadcasting a
2
signal from the
upgrade
farm to people who've fled the city
points.
saying, you'll be safe here.
Oh, I can't even triple jump yet. The struggle, Testa.
There's a few
The
signal
struggle.
amplifiers around the area to boost the signal. That should do the trick.
So have you started your spreadsheet yet?
That's one note.
Testa is the clan master in terms of questions for how do I maximize my loadout? How do I maximize my time being able to maximize my loadout? Like, you really need to be doing guides, honestly. Like, you need to be doing super OCD grinding.
All I do is, like, copy Datto's stuff.
See, don't say that. Just, like, that's, I'll edit that out later. It'll be fine. No, but the clan does appreciate the way you do it, at least.
We had our fantasy football draft the other weekend, and I always make the spreadsheet for it, you know, to keep track of, like, who's picking what. And one of the guys that's in the group decided that he was going to make the document this year.
Oh, jeez.
Like, you know, okay, whatever. Fine with that. You don't have to make it.
But you better make it better.
It wasn't, well, yeah, that's the thing, like, it wasn't a spreadsheet, it was a friggin' Word document. So, like, he tried to turn a Word document into, like, a spreadsheet. We had, like, a table, you know, in the spreadsheet with cells and everything, but it wasn't,
Walls
it was
can't
it was
see
just
over.
it was
Guards
bad. It
in
was
the
all
Soraya,
didn't
despite
resize
your
anything, and
exploits there, I
you
hardly
know,
think the city was a
most of
prison.
these players have like
I'm just saying.
normal length names, but some of them have some
Come and go whenever you want.
excessively
Let's
long
make
names.
Sure everyone can get there. Hey, Guardian.
So it's like trying to get those in there. You couldn't see half of the names, and everybody's like, "Who is that?"
Yeah, I'm way too OCD about
Read the boosted
spreadsheets
signal
to let
and-
anybody else try and make them if I'm around. Like, no,
Fallen on nothing
no,
if not
I got
persistent.
this. Step
I'd
off,
wager they have
please.
some kind of jamming devices nearby.
Yeah, no, not for me. By the way, I finally feel like me again in Destiny, because I have a sword and a little bit of a longer cloak. So I feel like all is...
You have a sword already?
Yeah!
How do you get a sword?
It just fucking
Where do you get
dropped
the
out of
sword?
it dropped out of like a fucking white engram. This is the New World Order, Testa. Swords just pop out of enemies now. Like,
You're just giving them away, huh?
yeah. God, okay, wait. I think you'll tell that story better. The way you guys reacted when I started freaking out when we were mining for hadium flakes.
Yeah. Over here. Over here. Oh, over here. Okay. Oh, here's another one. Over here. Over here.
Because when we first started playing the Taken King,
Yeah.
when we first started playing the Taken King, me, Testa, and our friend Swooded, we balanced it. So I was like the hunter, Testa was our warlock, and Swooded was the titan. So we had like one of each, and we basically just grinded. We were like, these are our raid characters. We're gonna play the ever-loving shit out of them the whole week and get max level, blah blah blah, everything. So we were like the insane grinders. So we were struggling trying to find the hadium flakes on the Dreadnought until I realized I had this thing called Keen Scout and turned into an over-enthusiastic guide dog the Testa still likes to do impressions of.
Yeah.
I was so into it, and they were just following me laughing. I was like, I don't know what's so funny. Like, you really should be able to hear yourself right now. You sound like you're having a stroke. It's like, yeah, guys, here, here's one, here, yeah. like, good Vex, you get a treat. It just felt so good to be useful. Did you fast travel? Did you do that thing?
Got a clear signal.
Or did you just like run ahead and I didn't notice? Because I was playing with my
I
sword.
was well, yeah, I just had to run down the road.
Guardian helping us normals for a
I'm
change.
like, how did you get so impossibly far away?
Did I send those coordinates correctly?
I've got them. Through the tunnel, across the river.
So I have a request from my viewer, because when I first started telling the 4 a.m. Train story, Santy texted me, he's like, oh god, is this the story with the coke boob girl? I was like, no, that's another story. I had told him a story a couple of months ago. I was at a party, it got mildly out of hand, people were...
There's a pike over here.
Oh, hello, baby, where's the pikes? Mama wants pikes. I was at a party that got mildly out of hand, people were indulging in a lot of recreational things, and there was one girl in particular who took a lot of cocaine that she absolutely should not have, because she's unmedicated bipolar and was going through kind of a manic episode. As a result, she was just vigorously hitting on anything that moved. The problem is, it was a party where
Good.
it was all gay men and me and her. That was it. No straight guys to be found for her to you know, exercise her
The city sure doesn't need it
lack of
anymore.
inhibitions on. The gay guys wanted nothing to do with it. I wanted nothing to do with it either, but she just got it in her head that that she was going to have her first. She's like, I want to have my first lesbian experience with you. I was like, I wasn't volunteering.
Nope.
Like, that's no, that's not. I'm not gay. And you're definitely not who I'm having my first with. If I'm going down that road, I have a list.
You're not the one that's gonna turn me gay.
Yeah, I have a list and you're not on it. like, I try to think I'm pretty open-minded. You know, try anything once, but it's one of those things where it's like, you know, try anything high quality once. Like, she was a little terrifying. So the entire party had a very odd tone of a Pepe Le Pew cartoon where I was the skunk being chased around. Basically, every time I would stop moving, she would sit on my lap or sneak up behind me and grab my boobs, and I just had to keep swatting her away. It was like fucking surreal. And then I was like, look, you're a lovely girl, you're very pretty. She's like, I know! And then she pulled off all her clothes. And we were like, but why? She's like, because you said I'm pretty. I'm like, that's...
Didn't have to prove it.
Yeah. I was like, I was gonna say something like, you're beautiful on the inside, but I was kind of afraid what would happen at that point.
Yeah. might try and prove that too.
So that was a special party. So TLDR, I missed out on a great lesbian experience. I mean terrible. Yeah, she's... Oh, actually, here's the worst part of that story. Do you know what this... Oh, God. Do you know what this girl does for a living? No, of course you don't, because you don't know her. But what would...
No.
I'm sure any guess you would have at this point would probably be very, very mean, and that would be fair. But yeah, no, she's a paramedic. I think I've never felt worse about life until I heard that and realized that I could very well one day be having some kind of severe medical crisis, and she could be the one standing between me and the bright white light. So, yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where people always say, like, oh, all, like, doctors, therapists, and stuff, like, are a little kooky, too. Yeah, totally fine. I get a little more concerned when we're talking about, like, surgeons and paramedics, though.
You made them mad. You're doing something right. Don't let up.
Oh, is this your little thing?
That's my big wall.
Your big wall. So, of course, you know me, I love my hunters, but I am going to be starting a warlock. Like, I'm going to be starting a second character sooner than I normally would have in the past. Normally, I would have been like, let me just fully get the hunters squared away before I move forward, but the warlock is pretty fucking cool, and I really like the little love puddles you can leave behind for your friends to stand in.
Guardians really are something.
Do a little
else.
dip potato
I guess
chip.
I kind of forgot that.
Dip potato chip in my love
Now
puddle.
I know that there are resources to be found in the Inquisition.
That's
Once we
the
retake
worst way to
city,
describe it,
that'll
and I
be a
hope
big
that becomes a thing.
Sure.
What Soraya means to say is, thank you. Head back here when you
Look at all
can, you
these
two.
upgrade
There's still
points.
quite a bit to do.
Yeah, like I said, they really just kind of like you don't really have choices. It's just like, oh, I can triple jump. The world is better now. See, actually, so I have one more upgrade point that I can spend. Are you like that?
No, I've been spending them.
Well, I just mean that I can't. Like, Like, I'm not hoarding them. It's more just like I have 1 point, but I'm not of level to use it. And I think I get a new one, like, almost every time I level, so... I do have to admit, I do love this part of Destiny, where I don't have to... In terms of gear, I could just go, what's the biggest number? Like...
Yeah.
This is
Those
Destiny.
are better than those? Okay, that's what I'm using.
Yep. This is Destiny at its best. Well, I think what I like about Overwatch 2 is not a lot of... I don't really have to think long and hard about anything. It's just like, well, this looks pretty, I'll put it on. This doesn't look pretty, I won't.
Oh yeah, I'm now at the point where I have point, but I can't spend it because I'm not high enough level.
Yeah, so thanks for that, tease. Look at our
Okay,
little
now what?
burning pikes. I don't know, this is kind of great, because now you've caught up to me, so I also don't have to put any thought into what to do. I could just follow you around and la la la. I'm a good follower.
I guess we need to fast travel to Boston to Red War.
I think that's an actual story mission. That's probably about right.
Yeah.
Do I not come with you? Or wait, did you travel within...
I fast traveled.
Oh, okay. Trostland. So you just, like, fast traveled. So wait, where are we?
Yeah, fast traveled. We were
Oh, we were pretty
kinda
far
towards,
down.
like outskirts. Yeah.
Yeah. There's one downside
Fast
with
traveled.
Twitch. I just gotta figure out if there's a way I can, like, hide the bar at the bottom, because it kind of actually covers important stuff sometimes.
You mean like the Twitch bar?
Yeah, where it says, like, how long I've been...
Yeah, you can set it to be like top of the screen or on the side of
Alright, I've gotta do that. And again, I really have to play with color settings. I find it very difficult to pick you out. Are you feeling the same? Like, how are you feeling in terms of your ability to suss out
You mean like
my...
on the seeing you like on the radar?
Yeah, like the blue versus green, I feel isn't as sharp.
No, I think the green. I mean, on my screen, or for me at least, the green stands out.
Yeah, so maybe I need to just adjust my settings, or get new eyes. So is your ARC family okay with you double dipping on them, or leaving them?
Yeah,
leaving them to
the
rot?
ARC family is kind of fractured right now. Anyway, They,
Politics or just different game playing?
no, just the game. Like the game was kind of like getting like the end game in that game is just becomes a lot of work. And it's like, it's like it's not so bad that you're like putting in the work, because all of us are like, the type of people that it's like we don't mind, putting in the work to have the nice stuff, but
Yeah.
you put in, you might put in a couple 100 hours, building up all these defenses and stuff, but the way that the game's not really balanced that well, so it's like
Still sitting up here above
put in all
the
this
line with
work
busted
to build
comm
up your
relay.
defenses, and
Where's
then
that
some
signal booster?
you know, couple of little kids that are on,
I'm getting
you
too
know,
old
take a
to
day
clean
off
up
of
after
school
you,
and just
Soraya.
come and just wipe everything out.
He admits he's old.
Just
Yeah.
because they're not
Big
because they
fella,
like
lumps
want
all
to take
charge,
your
and he never
stuff
let me
or
live it down.
They have the
because
time and
of
the
any
energy.
reason other than that they're just they're just like
You're
punk
the reason my
kids that
hair
don't
is
really
gray.
Yeah,
care.
Keep talking, old man.
and so it's like it's kind of hard to get up the motivation to, you know, put the time in. But on top of that, the game finally like officially launched. It's no longer in early access. It officially launched. But
I know, well, because
like,
Vile, back in the
the-
day, Vile's like,
what-
you better hurry and early access that shit. I was like, it'll be a while, it's fine.
yeah, it was in early access for 2.5 years, which, I mean, to the game's credit, like, it's one of the few games that has done the early access program and actually came out of early access. Most, like, 99% of games that go into that do the early access thing never actually launch. They're like failed Kickstart. You know?
DayZ still hasn't launched, right?
Right. No, it hasn't.
Jeez.
But the patch or whatever that they put out for the official launch
That elevator
was
should take us to the top of the mine.
totally broken.
Really?
And they're like all of their servers. So like they had all these servers
We'll have to find another way up to Hawthorne.
originally. And you know, they always promised that when the game launched that they were not going to wipe
The
those
fallen
servers.
are scavengers of the
So it's like your time
They're going to put
your
up a
time
fight
in
for
the
whatever
game
they can get
mattered.
their
Is
grubby claws
basically
on.
what they were, you know, they were assuring everyone that, you know, all these hundreds and thousands of hours put into, you know, breeding up lines of badass dinosaurs, building up cool bases and all this stuff. Like, it wasn't going to go away when the game launched.
Right.
But then it turned out that there was several bugs in the game that made it super easy for people to just basically duplicate all the stuff. So instead of having to like put in the work to, you know, grind all this stuff, you could just copy it. Basically copy and paste it. You know, make a copy of it and then just paste it as many times as you. It's like you want 1,000 copies of that dino. There you go. And they had there was no way in the game for them to like go back and take that stuff away from the people who had copied all that.
Oh, hold on, come back. Did you get this sniper rifle here?
Oh no, I didn't.
Is there one for you here?
Oh, yeah, I just.
Okay. Sorry, go on. I figured that was worth interrupting for.
Certainly. So they had no way to take this shit away from people and like delete all this copied crap. So, but they had also said that they're not going to wipe these servers. So their solution was, oh god, I'm stuck. Get stuck.
That escalated so quickly too. I was just like
Yeah.
coming out of my menu, heard, "Oh, I'm stuck. Oh, I'm dead." Can you respawn?
Yep. Yeah, in like 15 seconds.
I mean, not that.
So basically,
like, it would be
they're
horrible if we went back 10 seconds.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Their solution was to say, okay, well, we figured out a way to prevent it from happening in the future, but we can't actually fix it on those old servers. All we can do is add new servers. So when the game officially launches, we're going to add all these new servers, and they'll have protection against this duplication glitch. But all those old servers will not. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to stop supporting those old servers, and as the server's population dwindles, we'll just delete them.
Okay.
So that means that like all these you know, all of our stuff that we've worked so hard for will eventually be deleted because no one's playing on these servers because there's all these kids with all this copied shit that it's like can't compete.
Now,
So-
question that I don't, because I don't understand the technicality here, because I remember Vile got you guys a server? Like, is it peer-to-peer servers, or is it like the ARC people have servers?
They have official server. What Vile had was we all chipped in and bought an extra Xbox. And so we were playing on like our own server, which was fine, and that was a place where we could play and nobody could duplicate stuff. But like there was nobody else on the server. Like it's a PvP game, you wanna have other people to fight against in a fair and balanced way. But there's no easy way to like get more people on that server. And the people that you do get on the server, like they expect, like they think that you're like,
A
like
host.
it's your job to run this server. So, it's like File's got a family, he's trying to take care of his kids and stuff, and he's getting all these messages from, these teenagers on the internet that are like, well, you gotta fix this because this is broken on the server or whatever. And it's like, well, I'm not gonna trying to put my daughter to bed. Can you wait 10 minutes? And they're like, well, fuck you, man. You're the worst fucking admin ever. Fuck you. That was just it didn't work.
Okay, so I get that
So
now.
when the game-
So when it launched, yeah.
We found an
So when the
elevator.
game officially launched, they're like, okay, well, we're gonna have all these new servers that you can play on, and people won't be able to duplicate on these new servers. Okay, sounds great. Sign me up. Except that when they launched, they had like literally, I'm not exaggerating here. They came out with 6 servers. Now, previously, like the game had thousands of servers. Server, you can only have 70 people on a server.
Okay.
They launched with 6. That meant out of the, tens or hundreds of thousands of people trying to play the game, there were 6 servers, and each one could hold 70 people.
Jesus.
It was a disaster. Like a complete disaster. Still, I mean, it's been officially out now for over a week, and they still only have a few hundred servers.
I mean, have they ever
with
developed
those-
anything before? They're kind of... Isn't this like...
They're bad. They're so bad.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like their hearts are in the right place, but they just don't have any fucking idea what they were doing. That's like what it sounds like to me.
For one thing, they're not nearly big enough for like the scope of what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
Like they've bitten off way more than they can chew. But they continue to like keep making the pie bigger, which is, it's like I can forgive them for biting off more than they can chew. But you can't keep stuffing shit in your mouth after you've bitten off. They launched this game. There's only 6 servers that work, and they're out there like promoting their next big paid DLC. And it's like, guys, your game doesn't fucking work. Like, do you realize you're like stop making commercials and start making servers? That's what you need to do right now. Is you need to make servers, not.
The Division the Division didn't have a server problem, but they had like a broken game, and then we're trying to like push their DLC on folks. It's like no.
Maybe I'll finally get my
No,
booster one of these
the main
days.
shit still doesn't work. You are allowed to delay DLC. It's a thing. It's a thing. Like. So how's your group handling it? Are people just kind of like throwing their hands up over it?
Well, so there's another. So, in the midst of all this disaster of Ark happening, there was another game that came out in early access that's similar. It's a similar type of. It's an open world survival PvP game called Conan Exile.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't have like the dinosaurs and that aspect that Ark has, but it had a lot more nuanced PvP, a lot more variety to the PvP, which I think was going to be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So we all kind of started playing that, and then they started like patching that game, and it just got totally broken. Servers crash all the time. You can't stay connected to servers for very long.
Hawthorne, we're out of the mine and heading your way.
Then hurry up with that booster.
we
Let's
so
finish
we all
looking at
kind
the
of
comm
like
network.
migrated from Ark over to Conan,
for the
and then
help.
Conan broke.
You're not so bad. Little fancy pants
And
guardian.
so everybody's just
Now
been
that's
kind
the
of
nicest
in
thing I've
limbo.
ever heard Soraya say.
Yeah, it seems like
Or
that
rare
genre
couple
of
weeks.
game, because it's like all of them. I've heard this about all of them. So I actually thought of you months ago, and only months ago, not since. No, but I thought of you a couple months ago. A friend and I were playing 7 Days to Die. And we were actually really enjoying it. We like mainlined it for like 3 days. We're having so much fun building a base, and like God, it really had a ton of resources and all this stuff stockpiled. It was great. And then we went off on an adventure one day, and we came back, and I said, "Oh, I'm gonna go to the base and like grab something." So I go, and I'm like, "Where?" Like, I feel like I'm standing at the base, but like the marker says I'm at the base. He's like, "Oh, you must have just taken a wrong turn." And he's like, "Here, I'll come. I'll lead you. You're clearly lost. Ha ha ha." And then he's like, "No, wait. This is where our base was." So then we hop onto the interwebs, and it turns out that, yeah, 7 Days to Die is a little glitchy, and whole areas can reset to their base form just at random with no cause and no way around it.
Your city is gone.
So initially we were like, fuck this, we're out, we were done. But the game did kind of have its hooks in us enough that we tried it again, but our heart was never quite in it. So when we tried again, we were just like, well, we'll just keep multiple bases, kind of, you know, have stuff here and there or whatever. But it's just like knowing that it could just wipe away at any point. It was just like, no, that doesn't sound fun. Like,
Yeah, well, you know, the games are about, like, you know, they're PvP type games, but really what it comes down to with those games is that they're about the acquisition of wealth, right? Like, you're farming stuff to build bases, to build better bases, you're gathering materials. Like, part of the whole point of PvP is so that you can, like, steal other people's shit, so that you can get stuff. Like, it's all about... Ultimately, what it comes down to is that the games are about the acquisition of wealth, and when all of that can just be wiped out for something that you have no control over, like it's
in all things.
anti
Block it.
what you're playing the game for in the first place.
Trap it, but the light.
yep. Well, honestly, so I mean, you know me. I love my Destiny. I'm probably sitting here because I love my Destiny, but my heart wasn't in Destiny 1 after the April update when they announced nothing was carrying forward. I knew we couldn't take our guns, I knew we couldn't take our gear, I knew we would have to start over there. But when they said that no emblems, no shaders, grimoire, all of that, like everything gone, I was like, oh,
You are nothing
done.
like
There's absolutely no need to grind if I can't carry it forward, and I am still mildly bitter over the emblems. I'm a little mildly bitter because I remember them kind of saying like, oh, when you get the Loria Prima, you could stand in the tower 10 years from now and wink at everyone, like, knowing that you have it, and yes, we did re-get it, so I was slightly placated there, but I don't know, it was like, what would the harm have been for emblem ships and, oh, like, all those emotes that we stupid people paid, like, real-world money for? Why couldn't those have transferred over?
Will be reborn.
Like, the ships I get, because they redesign the way that the ships work, and like, you know, it's just like shaders, for instance, right? Like, I was really mad about shaders, but now that I know how they reworked the shader system, I get it. Like, what would be the point of carrying over Chatterwhite? Like, you bring one Chatterwhite with you. Well, to shade like your set now, you need like 18
20 of them.
shaders or 20 of them, and they're consumables. So
Yeah,
what would
so
be the
I get
point
that
of bringing
now.
one Chatterwhite forward? Yeah,
Yeah, that I get.
but
That I get.
the stuff that I paid actual money for, the emotes that I paid money for, that
Or,
not
like,
being
emblems.
here.
Like, how are emblems harming anyone, you know?
Well, the emblems are different now. They take up like the whole top of your, like when you go into your inventory, your emblem is like a
True.
whole bar across the top.
Okay, so what you're basically saying, which is right, is that there's, like, they weren't just being petty. There was a reason why stuff is carrying forward. And look, I'm a reasonable person. I'm not, you know me, I'm not actually that salty. Compared to a lot of people, I'm not salty. So, like, yeah, I'm a grown-up. I can admit I get it. And that's fine, and I accept it. I'm not gonna whine over it, but it's going to change the way I play going forward. Now, I'm going to play the game to have fun with my friends. I'm not going to have an aneurysm to get max level or to get a particular piece of gear. Like, that's where it's kind of going to change for me. It's like the focus is going to be on the social and the memories and the having fun, and if I don't get every single gun, it's okay, because then limited mobility anyway. Or mobility, no, limited shelf life, I should say.
Do you know what the symbols on the map mean? What are the
like like what the different, like, so
yeah, there's like kind of like a kind of almost looks like a little cave emblem. It's like two upside down U's with a dot in the middle, and then there's another one that's like a kind of a double cross.
Well, the cave,
An icon.
if you come, the cave, this is not going to answer it for you, but the cave, like, where I'm standing, it's like this. No other side of the wall. I think, like, you scanned it before talking to, Dream Daddy, and unfortunately the problem with, streaming...
Yeah, that symbol.
Yeah.
That's
I
like,
think
that symbol's on the map.
It definitely means something.
Oh, I see. I'm not looking at it right now.
It's one of the things where I admit I've certainly talked over certain exposition scenes and stuff that I should go and... Like, I just got a message that, like, a high-value target has dropped its plunder. I don't know what that means. Ooh, my viewership speaks. Santy says we should go down into the basement of the church. Well, to the basement. Yeah, Ben led me into the basement a couple times. It was super creepy. Oh, here.
Burn my dust.
Here, come here. Look for me! Hello!
Anyways.
I know, like, so what I just learned is that Santy wants us to die horribly in a haunted basement. Thanks.
Yeah, pretty much. No, guys, you should totally go down into the dark basement. It'll be fine. You'll love it. There's cake.
He's like fucking eating popcorn and like, those fuckers, man. Yeah, I haven't seen a good horror movie in a while. Let me just, set one up for my personal amusement.
Yeah. No. There's totally cake down there, guys.
He says, high-value targets are orange-barred enemies. When you kill them, they drop chests. Okay, but then the question, Santy, so I don't have to Google, is when it says that it drops the loot, does that mean I'm close enough to get the loot even if I didn't help kill him? Because I definitely was sitting on my ass when I got that. I gotta switch back to my sword so I can be swording.
Oh, there's a
Yes,
boss guy up there.
Santy says yes. If you get the message that a high-value target has dropped his loot, it means someone else has done your work for you, and you could go and take their goodies. I like it. Interesting, when your sword has no ammo, you can still sword with it, and it looks like a sword. Like, you're not pommeling people to death anymore. It probably just does very little damage. It's probably... Although, oh my god, do you remember when we would all run around, like, pommeling people to death with our sword hilts in Crucible to try and get the exotic?
Yeah.
Just like, don't mind me. I'ma be in Crucible, sneaking around like a little brat, just bopping people with my hilt. It's cool. It's cool. What level are you?
I am level 5 and light level.
Oh, okay, that makes me feel. I'm a bit nearsighted, and for some reason I thought you were level 8, and I'm level 6, and I was just about to be deeply confused. Like, what the fuck did you sneak off and do in, like, the 10 seconds I had my eyes off you? And furthermore, is it replicable? Well, just Yunks, someone in our clan, like, grinded his way throughout the night to get up to, like, level 16 or something. I'm like, that sounds like something that I would have been able to do at 26 as well, but I'm not 26 anymore, and I require sleep.
Yeah, I mean, people are saying you can get to level 20 in like 10 to 12 hours.
Yeah, I don't...
Doing the right thing.
I don't doubt that. It's like, well, I don't know. It's hard to say, though, what the gear drop level gets to be like then when you get down to, like, the nitty-gritty. Because, like, so for me, look, normally, I would have still been at work right now if I was not... This was great, by the way. I was, like, sitting in a meeting with my boss. Was, like, clutching my neck, because my neck basically only feels okay with pressure on it right now. That's usually a great sign. Or a sign that I'm into very specific kinks. So I was, like, clutching my neck, wearing sunglasses indoors, hunched over at, like, our 11 a.m. meeting. And finally my boss, after 30 minutes of talking, he's like, "You look like you're in great physical pain." I was like, "I am." He's like, "Well, we have a lot of work to do today." I was like, "Uh-huh." But by 3 p.m., I was just like, I'm going to die. I'm going to die. So I was like, I need to not be here anymore. I'm sorry. So normally I would be at the gym now. I would be at work and then going to the gym and not watching you hang out in a corner.
There's something. Oh.
What do you
Here?
sense? What do you see?
Oh, there's something down here, I think. If you look at the map, like, see how we're right on top of that little U icon there? Upside down U?
Is there a way to
think
zoom
this
in
is,
on the map?
No.
No, that's annoying.
I'm pretty sure there's like something down here.
Like a cave or something.
Yeah.
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 But yeah, so normally I wouldn't have been able to play much tonight. Assuming I don't perish in the night from my sinuses exploding, I'll be back at work tomorrow, and can't really play much tomorrow night. Friday night, I'm going to a show and stuff. So it's one of those things where I didn't want to commit to any raids next week because I don't even know what the light gear grinding is going to be like. Like, sure, I know I could hit 20 in the next couple of days, but then will it be like an interminable slog to, like, whatever 260 you need to be, you know? Did you fast travel?
No, I'm behind you. I was texting.
Okay. Well, it's weird because you disappeared, I guess, because you went into a loading...
I think you probably went into a darkness zone.
That's so dark.
Here I am.
Here I am.
Yeah.
I'm bad at navigation. I'm better in Destiny. I'm very bad in Borderlands because Borderlands navigation, it's like very multi-level but with a very flat HUD. So you're constantly running around until you realize, oh, there's like a basement, or oh, there's a there's a cliff. Like, it's a lot of like backtracking like that, and I'm just particularly atrocious at it. But yeah, speaking of my terrible navigation, I want to tell the story about the time that I found raid secrets. I basically made streamer history by finding a secret in Crota End.
This
2
in the
years.
abyss?
2 years after Crota's End was released, I found raid secrets. We were going through one night, Crota, making our way through the abyss, and like the stupid little duckling I am, I think you guys were kind of over Ascendant materials at that time. Y'all were never looking for the extra chest, but I was still newbie enough that I really wanted all of the gubs I could get. So I was like, well, I'm gonna find the chest if you guys aren't. You guys were like, okay, enjoy dying, and we're not gonna come back and revive you. So I said, all right, thank you, fuckers, goodbye. So I went off wandering, and I found the chest, and that's great. I'll join you, except did not yet know the abyss well, but Testa, your training did serve well. We took Nick and Captain. Captain had not gotten flawless before, which surprises me. Captain is someone who's been in our clan a very long time. She is fantastic, all-around wonderful person, and frankly, one of the best players in Destiny. Not just our clan, fucking. Somehow had not gotten flawless. Flawless Raider. She had gotten flawless trials and not gotten flawless Raider. She got the much harder one done. So we took her, Nick, and some other folks who needed it through. And Testa here was the one who taught me how to solo the Abyss back when nobody was really running Crota hard anymore because, like, House of Wolves was Taken King was getting ready to drop, so everything was going to be moot anyway. So people had stopped running, but I still wanted the Oversoul Edict, so he taught me how to solo it, so I would just do that every week and just try it. This was before you had taught me the Abyss, so we were running around doing our Crota thing, and I was trying to find you guys, and then I got lost and somehow discovered, like, I saw something in the distance. I was like, guys, there's like a lamp over here. There's like, guys, there's this really cool area. God, you gotta find me. And of course, they're me like, oh yeah, okay, you found a secret area. Sure. I mean, it's been out for 2 years, but yeah. I was like, no, guys, I swear to God, there's like really, you gotta see it. And then I fell, and we realized that the really cool secret area I thought I found was me winding my way back to the start of the Abyss and seeing it from above and then falling back down into it.
There they go again.
It was bad, man.
So it took me about another year to live that down. Oh, hey Vex,
I don't know
find
that you can live a thing like that down.
You find any good secret areas lately, Vex? Shut up. Oh, it's just, I was so disappointed because I seriously thought I had found something awesome. Instead, I just found out I'm awesomely terrible at navigating the Abyss.
There goes the
A tricky business, mining Glimmer without a drill. Good work.
Yeah, it's gonna be, have you peeked ahead on anything about the new raid?
No.
Me neither. I don't know shit. Which I understand by putting that thought out onto the internet is basically saying, hey, PM me your spoilers. I'm hoping the world at large will either be cool or be cool. But, yeah, I don't know shit. I'm guessing it'll be Cabal themed. I mean, that would just fit with this, which the Cabal is not my favorite aesthetic in Destiny. I would kill for another Vex raid. I would honestly just love it.
I'm looking forward to the Cabal raid. Like, we haven't had one yet.
I mean, that's true. It's for the uniqueness of it, there is that. And I'm guessing the Titan gear will look pretty sick. It's one of those things where, maybe that's the thing. It's like Vexed or Hive looking gear looks sick on the Hunter, so maybe that's kind of why I'm more drawn to those.
Crazy enough to work.
It's difficult for the young to recognize the wisdom of experience.
Do you consider yourself, like, because I notice you're playing a Titan now, but I always kind of thought of you as a Warlock main.
Definitely. Satan.
Okay. I think maybe just because that's, like, you started with the Warlock in Taken King.
Yeah, I did. I did start with a Warlock, but
At heart, you're a Titan.
wait.
Excellent. What say you use your access to prepare a broadcast in Fallen speak? I've been meaning to
There a
put this Cabal
broadcast in
communications
Fallen.
cipher to use.
The Red Legion fighting the Fallen for a change.
Oh, good. Can I take this translator back to
extract
finally
archived
learn
audio
what
transmissions from any Fallen in the
what's his
area.
face was saying about me in that strike? Tannix. Finally hear what Tannix was smack talking me with. Looking forward to playing some of the new strikes. I didn't love the one that was in the beta, so...
Did you do the PC beta?
A little bit. I actually played with Swanky, one night. It was, I felt bad. I didn't realize how long it would take to download, and I didn't I didn't preload it, so I was like, well, I have only one night I could play, so I'll get on at around 9 and we can play. I signed on at 9, and then it took me until like midnight to download it, so he and I were just like, we're just bullshitting in Discord, and he was like, oh, I'm gonna, you know, it's getting late, I should sign off. I'm like, oh, I only have like 2% to go. He's like, okay, I'll stay up. What about you? Did you get to play with it at all?
Yeah, I thought the strike was a lot better in the beta. Like having the weapons more balanced and getting more grenades and more supers and stuff like that. I thought it was a lot better.
That's true. That's true. It was funny. I felt that I was aiming better with mouse and keyboard in PvE, but because it's a little easier to move around, but I haven't, I'm new to PC gaming. I've only been PC gaming for a year, and sporadically in that year, like, I play every once in a while, honestly. And I'm playing against people like you, who have been doing it for years and years and years, and so on the PvP front, I just absolutely get spanked, like 100%. I can't hold my own. And I'm not good at PvP to begin with. It's like basically, at a base level, I have less skill than other people. And then I'm going up where my minimal skills are hobbled versus people's whose are sharpened. It was a terrible combination.
And put them to good use sowing chaos between your enemies.
It's deeply unpleasant. As is what just happened to me just now.
Yeah, I used controller most of the time.
I think
beta.
I would have to do that. The problem is the only controller I have, because I need one that plugs in, because I don't remember why. Maybe because I didn't get the thing that makes a wireless one work. So I just have like a really junky, cheap, like $10 pink controller that's kind of like so shitty. If I'm gonna be playing more seriously,
I mean, doesn't
PC,
your Xbox controller have a USB port on the front?
The 360. Well, I only have basically I would need to buy a wired 360.
Oh, your Xbox One controller, like it's got a micro USB port on the front of it.
Does it? Oh.
Yeah.
So I can just use a USB and plug it in?
Yep. Yeah.
Well, that was useful information a year ago.
Yeah, you just plug it into your PC with a USB port.
Should have probably, honestly, part of why I got the computer was to play with my cousin's kids, including my adorable little 15-year-old, like, first cousins, second removed, or whatever my cousin's kids are to me. So I kind of let him do a lot of my consulting, and you probably would have been a little more helpful in certain stuff, so... Alright, well, now that I know I can just use that, that'll actually make me a little more inclined to play. God, I wonder what else you can help me fix. Well, actually, something I might pick your brain on down the road is... first of all, where the fuck you went. Interesting. You teleported.
Yeah, I teleported.
I'm having some kind of issue on my PC. I think it's a kind of grounding issue, but basically, it's worse when I play Overwatch. It happens a little bit with every game I play on Steam, but it happens much worse on Blizzard app games, is if I'm streaming whoever I'm playing with, no matter whether we're using Discord, Mumble, or anything, if I'm streaming and using a Blizzard app, they hear this horrible, like, low-grade buzz coming through their end.
Great work. Broadcasting the message.
It's fucking weird.
What kind of mic are you using?
You know what I'm using? My Xbox 360, like, Turtle Beach, like, X60s, like, ancient ass.
Actually, Devrim,
so that could certainly be an exacerbating
Make sure
factor.
there's no interference during the transmat.
of big red ships headed
Yeah, it's
your way.
probably you probably got a bad
Whatever you
ground
said,
on that
it
thing.
got their attention.
So
Buzzing is
you're
usually
I
a
used a pretty
ground.
nasty word to
But
describe
why?
dogs.
But what
I
is
don't
it
wanna
about
repeat
the
his
combination of
I
streaming
do
and
so
Blizzard
love
that causes it?
unconventional warfare.
Like, why would the
I'd be on the
streaming
lookout for
affect it?
drop
I guess
points
because
if I were
that's changing the input-output or whatever.
No, I mean, it might be that the buzz is there all the time, but like whatever, however Blizzard's backend handles it, like picks it up more. It's probably there all the time. It's just more noticeable on Blizzard
Right.
because, you know, whatever science.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have a ton of friends. Like, the easiest thing, if I had local friends who gamed, would be to borrow someone's headset and try it for a night. But I don't want to make, like, a pricey purchase thinking, yeah, the headset's probably the problem. I guess I could buy it, try it, and return it if it's still a problem. But luckily I don't play often enough. Also, as you know, for a while I was very reluctant to stream with my voice, and the PC does not make that easy to exclude. Like, basically, if I'm playing with people, there is a way where you can do it, where you can still talk to people and it does go over the stream, but it is prohibitively difficult to figure out. Well, as you know, I guess that was kind of the issue you had with the first setup, right? When I was trying to not be included. It's basically OBS is kind of like all or nothing, right?
I could hear the explosions all the way back here.
Yeah,
I bet
well,
it was quite a show.
I mean, back then they
The
didn't
Fallen
have,
Red Legion heard it
they
too.
hadn't made the
We'll
update
let them shoot at
to
each other for a while and clean up whatever's
Xbox
left.
Live that
Great work.
made it easy to like opt in, opt out with your voice. So,
Yeah.
I was basically using my mix amp and pulling it. Like I wasn't grabbing voice through. I had voice like outputting on the speaker channel and then picking it up with my mix amp and putting that back in.
Jeez. I remember all the testing we were doing to make sure you were, like, up and running.
It was a pretty ham-fisted way to do it. But
Well, I mean, but that's how everyone was having to do it then. That's, you know, they've just made it a lot more accessible. Man, I'm now sitting here with 2 upgrade points that it just doesn't look like well, okay, I could use Gambler's Dodge now if I wanted to, but that... I guess I could spend the point.
yeah, I have to get higher level before I can unlock.
Yeah, at this point I just have the, like, little separate tree up to the right, it looks like. But on the plus side, so it feels like the subclasses, it feels like they're proceeding a little faster, maybe, than Destiny
Yeah.
1.
Yeah. Agree with that. I think there's a cave thing. Get over there?
That looks
Must
like
be.
a death
Must have
jump.
to go. Yeah, you must have to go to like a different area. I wonder if this like circles now.
This is some very spirited music, though.
It is. I love the music in the car.
It feels very... This music here feels very Halo to me. Now there's no music and I sound
Alright,
like a
I guess
crazy person.
Guess we fast travel back across. Yeah, fast travel to.
Yeah, look at how far we made it, though.
There needs to be a way to like opt in or like party lead.
Yeah, I'm kind of fine with going like, yeah, I'll follow him, it's fine. Like... Or make it like, opt out, just like, the party leader is initiating travel, like, click here if you don't want to go with. Oh, Testa, come here. There's a loot thingy. And I don't quite know how it works, like, I don't know whether, like, you need to be, like, in the vicinity. I said there was a public event incoming when we zoomed in here.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it's gone now.
Oh no, there's one, but it's Winter Cove. It looks like it's... It looks like it's a hike. I kind of wish there were like multiple fast travel points. It looks like basically your option is
There
just...
are. I think you gotta unlock them. Like I think there is one around that. So
Oh, okay.
walk there first.
Oh, that's cool though. So these
Head
EDZ
that way and
tokens.
unlock it.
Yeah, I'll follow you.
I guess you give them to Deverum.
But is there any reason to hang on to them? Like, should I just be spending them as I get them, or holding on? What's the... what does the hive mind say?
Good question. I don't know. I haven't really looked into any of that yet.
Yeah.
Probably
this
wait
is-
until you hit level 20.
Oh, I think, yeah, Ben said that he got, like, a purple engram from him, but he can't use it till he's, like, 20.
Oh, it's a walker tank.
Oh, Jesus. I want to see. My stubby little hunter legs. So how are you liking, what are your thoughts on the new Titan class?
The Sentinel, I like it. I mean, I always liked,
Very dangerous. Watch out.
I always liked running the Relic, and it's basically Relic. So,
It's a relic no one can ever take from you.
right,
Ever.
fucking Elrac.
Yeah, and I like the little base wall. It's pretty cool. Ooh, requires arc charge. Does that mean he's gonna like drop little arc bombs that I can grab and... Yes! Yes, 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 yes! Oh my god, I gotta grab it, I gotta grab it! Ah! Okay, so you grab the arc charge that he drops and you come up and you...
Put it in, you put it in the...
Yeah, so we need to
base
do one
thing.
more. So we need to drop him once more, and then we get the toy. Drop and give me your goodies, son of a bitch. Blah! That's not what I had in mind. Give me your goodies, give me your goodies. Ah! Oh! I died valiantly! Remember me as I was. Remember your access trading, boys. Oh god, all the death, just all the death. This is fun. Like, I kind of like that it's not just, you know, oh hey, remember this guy? Kill him.
Look at
There's
them
reasons.
run. They weren't expecting that.
Good show. I have a feeling they'll be back.
Yeah. Vanquish
Fox
that
the
motherfucker.
Smoldering Wasp. That's amazing.
All sorts of vanquish.
And we got tokens for it, basically. I mean, I'm not complaining,
All
but...
vanquished up in here.
That was fun. I liked the extra mechanics that they added. That actually made me slightly nostalgic for Wrath of the Machine. Well, Wrath was fun. Challenge mode was a challenge. Like, not in the good way. In the, like, friendship ruining, hair tearing, like, why does this game do this to me sometimes way. Did I tell you what happened the first time we did
Oh, here's
the,
a chest over here.
Oh, where? Woo! Did I tell you what happened the first time we did Access Challenge mode?
No.
This is fucking awful. We lost it on a technicality. I'm blanking because it's been a minute. What was the challenge? What was the challenge for Access? It was that he couldn't teleport or something, right?
Axis? No, it was you had to dunk. Do the dunk.
Dunk every time. Dunk every time. Okay,
Yeah.
that's right. You had to get the supercharged. Santy just reminded me. Yeah, you had to get the supercharge every time and superpower everyone. Blah 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 blah. So we were doing it. We had been at it for so fucking long, and we finally got him down, and we didn't get the rewards. We finally beat it, but we didn't get all the emblems and all the goodies and all the everythings. And we were like, what in the actual fuck happened? It turns out what had happened was we had damaged him so much, or what happened was while the final person was dunking him, we were all firing on him and damaged him so much that before the person could superpower charge us, he went into final stand. We didn't, and because everything was so hectic, we didn't realize that because he had prematurely gone into final stand, we had not gotten the dunk, so it didn't count as the challenge completed. So not only did we not complete the challenge, but now we had lost our checkpoint. We couldn't even go back and try it again, even if we had the mental or physical wherewithal to do so, because we were so fucking demoralized. We had to fucking call it. Luckily, I think it was like Beetle happened to have a checkpoint, because I think at that point, someone we were playing with was just like, I'm done. We've been at this for 3 hours, I'm going to bed. And the rest of us were like, we really just want to get this done. We've come this far. Now we know that we have the rhythm and we know we could do it. We lost on a fucking technicality. So luckily Beetle had a checkpoint, and so he filled in for the person who left. And we got it easily then, because now we had the rhythm and everything. But that was a shitty feeling. I think that was the only time my group even did the Access Challenge because of that. We were just like, no, fuck everything about that. Just fuck all of it. Really, but fuck it all. It sucked.
Oh, we gotta defend here. I was like, what are we supposed to be doing?
Stand here and not die, basically.
Yeah, Axis, like, I really liked the way that raid was set up, but that challenge mode was tweaked just a little too tight.
Yep. Well, Vosik too.
That was just on the outside of where I draw the line between fun and work.
Yeah. Yep.
Vosik I thought was okay. Like once Vosik was really hard, like when you were under leveled. Like the first time Vosik was like an option that first week. It was like, no, this is fucking bullshit. But like after you got geared up and
no, but the challenge for him
was
tweaky too, because it was easy to fuck up. It was so easy.
Yeah.
That's my issue with the challenge mode. I don't mind
all it
working
really
hard.
took to fuck you over there was like one round of getting like both doors on the same side.
Or even everybody does everything right, but someone throws the charge 1 centimeter too high or too low. Like, that's not a challenge, that's a lottery. Like, I don't mind working hard and doing crazy mechanics. I do mind losing on technicalities or losing to such a small, tight percentage, like you said, like two slim margins. Like, I feel like, yeah, the challenge ballot, because I loved Wrath of the Machine. Even hard mode, it was hard, but like challengingly hard. It was fine, it was doable. And then challenge mode came, and it's like, no. But luckily, the rewards for challenge mode weren't. Never once did I feel like I was missing out by only doing challenge mode once.
That figure.
Oh!
Fallen love dark places.
Did you die and then did I run you
Legion all
over?
over the dead zone.
No, I just respawned.
Okay. Because I feel like I was coming to revive you and then I heard Guardian down. I'm like, going to assume that wasn't me.
This tunnel looks promising.
Whoa, you found a promising tunnel? I want to see a promising tunnel.
Promising.
Where'd you go?
Kind of down here underneath the road. The tunnel goes like underneath the road.
Oof. Oh, there's no fall damage. Wait, so I'm following the road.
Coming. Keep coming. Go to your right. There.
Ow. Show me the promising tunnel. See? Yep, you're right. Cave system. Oh, so that just that's why Santy, when we saw the symbol, and he's like, go into the creepy murder church. Go into the creepy murder basement. I think what he was trying to say is that those symbols denote opportunities to go down and get murdered while your friends watch. Actually, this is like, you know what this reminds me of? When Fallout launched, and it's funny, I only played Fallout 4 for 2 days, but those 2 days that I played them, I took off of work, and Santy, I'm not gonna, let's just say that Santy was definitely not watching while at work, just in case his employers are ever watching. Santy also took the days off work, let's just go with that. That'll hold up in a court of law. But at any rate, I was playing and Santy was watching me on the stream. It was kind of like my co-pilot in the Wastelands, which honestly made me wish so much there was like a Fallout MMO, because it was so fun having him just like watch over my shoulder and send me like, what the fuck was that? Or like, oh, turn around, you missed something. Like, that was like the most fun I've ever had in a Fallout game. And you know, I think that may have been why I never went further in Fallout 4, because it's like those first 2 days were fun, but then, you know, after that, Santy was not sitting at work, bored. Like, I never had a time to play again where he was bored and watching me, and it was just never fun again. Just kind of fucking ruined the game for me. Yeah, Sandy says, yes, the swan moment, because there's a very famous moment in Fallout 4 where you just kind of, you might minding your own business, walking up into a park, and suddenly a giant fucking like monster rises up. Which again, I wish I had been recording audio. I wasn't, because I basically was like, nope, 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 and went like yipping down the street while Santy just sent me ha 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 ha
So we can clear it out for good.
Or we could let the fallen have their
because, you know,
cakes
dude does
and
like to
not
watch me die.
sacrifice more people.
But he says, okay, aha, Santy says those symbols, the little cavey looking ones, show that there's a lost sector section nearby with a chest. So those symbols equal loot. Although it's Destiny, so really everything equals loot. But how much trouble would society really be in if, like, walking up and, like, punching dudes to death, like, got you good gear? I mean, I guess technically it does, but that's just mugging.
With that shield down, I can finally get a read on the source.
Just like people,
It's
like,
close.
behave like giant meat pinatas.
Oh, that was fucking shit. I doth protest.
Speaking of meat pinatas. Yeah, I like this. I like this part where you walk ahead.
Oh, this is cool.
Hold them off, and I'll use that shank core to shut down the signal remotely.
This kind of looks Venus-y. I like it. Hey, big angry guy. And grenades arc pretty far in Destiny 2. Give me your relic. So did you guys end up watching any of the Bachelor in Paradise?
No.
Whole season just felt a little tainted.
Just a little longer.
Yeah. After all that shit, I was like, I don't want to be like contributing to the problem, you know?
Yeah. It's like there's guilty pleasure and then just like actual guilt.
And actually, exactly.
Like yeah, one of my few, other than The Bachelor, Bachelorette, the only other thing I would watch is Big Brother. This is the first summer I just straight up didn't watch it.
Once we get
Just,
that last
I don't know,
relay
it's
set up,
busy, man.
we can reach out to the rest of the
It's
system.
outliving my life.
Then we can start rallying Guardians to strike back against the Red Legion.
I do want. I want to find a way. There's unfortunately there's not always an easy way to watch past Bachelor and Bachelorette seasons. Like, I want to go back and see the. I never got around to watching last year's Bachelor in Paradise with Chad, my obsession.
Oh,
'cause-
that one was special. That was a special time.
He's my everything. I mean, he terrifies me.
He got kicked off of that.
Really?
Yeah.
Shocker.
Doing the number higher. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm also doing the, like, I guess I should delete some of this, but then I don't want to be the idiot who, like, deletes the Kvastov. Like, I feel like I need to, you know, like, stash some of the white stuff in case, like, for Trollsible's future, basically.
Alright, how the hell do we get out of here? I guess we got a fast travel.
Hey, at least that's an advantage. But I just got something where I got like an artifact of great power.
Yeah, I think like that'll unlock the next subclass, but you have to like kill shit to charge it first.
Oh. Again, nobody's ever gonna be watching these videos to learn shit. Oh, yep, you're right.
Like
there
if you look
go.
at your
melted
like you
hand
have like
cannon.
a second. So that's probably for golden gun. 'Cause mine is battered gauntlet and it has like the arc symbol. Guessing that's
Yeah.
the striker type.
Yep. And I heard, which I didn't realize, is Night Stalker's back. So I'm assuming all the Taken King ones are back. So you must just get them at a later juncture. So fighting alongside Guardians at public events. Sweet. I lost.
Do you
my
have
only
any
viewer.
icons? Do you have any icons on the map? Like on this map? 'Cause my next thing is on Titan.
Devram wants. Well, Devram's kind of. Is he always just kind of blinking for you? Does he want to talk to me again, or?
He probably wants to talk to you because he's not blinking.
All right, let me just.
I mean, his icon shows up on the map.
But it's not like pulsing.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. It is. It is both. Maybe he does want to talk.
Yeah, so let's just holla at him and then I can move on.
What's up, Cat Daddy? Oh,
Dream Daddy, Destiny Dream Daddy. He's got presents for you and me, 'cause he's the Dream Daddy. Destiny Dream Daddy. Why's he live in the top of a clock tower? That's not weird at all.
Come now. Speak your mind.
He doesn't have anything to. Well, he's got like rewards. Exchange them. Yeah.
Goodbye, Guardian.
Well, fuck you too, Dream Daddy.
so you can exchange those tokens. So the Dusklight shards you can exchange with him for Glimmer. And the tokens you can exchange with him for Rep. Then I'm guessing that the Rep gets you packages. Probably want to hang on to the
Yes.
token until you're higher rank, so that the packages you get from him drop at higher level.
Yeah, which totally makes sense. But then I don't understand why it's blinking like he really wants to talk to
Stood
me.
upon the wall for years.
I have an encrypted engram, but he's not a cryptarch, so that doesn't really...
I need to go to the... Alright, let's go to the farm.
Dreadful. I should
That
write a
doesn't
book
sound
about
right,
it.
man.
That take you with me?
Yes. that did consent.
I just popped into our ARC chat on online, and Breck was like, well, and the good news is that I've managed to stay on Conan for 30 minutes without a crash. and then 3 minutes later, never mind, just crashed.
Yeah. Well, look, your choice is you can all play a very well-designed, solid game like Destiny, where you're not going to have those issues, but you're kind of on a guided path. Or you could play a game where your imagination is the limit, but the servers and everything are a little janky. It seems like those are kind of your two choices, unfortunately.
Yeah, that game once they work out the kinks, that game's probably gonna be pretty. Is it
The dreams
like
have
they
changed.
they
Now
are
I
like
know why.
Bungie in that they build
Traveler
some
has chosen you.
amazing
Your
looking.
light shines brighter than ever. As a guardian,
The game
Fallen
looks
has always
really
been
fucking
as
cool.
historian, not warrior.
And there's a
I
lot
am
of
sure
like
your
pretty
great
in-depth
deeds will never
mechanics
be
in it.
forgotten.
Like there's
I don't
there's
need to
NPC
record your deeds.
camps
For
all
my
over the
reward, at
place,
least.
and like you're all the human, like all the
I am here for
people
you,
in the
of
game
course.
characters are like outlaws. So these NPCs are like, oh, you're a fucking outlaw, get the fuck out of here. Like they're trying to kill you and everything. So you can like fight them and kill them and get loot and stuff, or you can knock them out and then break their will on the wheel of pain.
Jesus!
Like literally, you make this thing called a wheel of pain, and like you chain them up to this wheel of pain, and you break their will, and you basically make them your slaves, and then you use them to make better gear. So, like,
Yeah, that sounds right.
part of the game within the game is going out and finding, like, you know, raiding these camps of NPCs to find like the really talented blacksmith or the really talented armor maker and stuff like that, and you know, then dragging them back to your base and enslaving them and making them make better armor and weapons and stuff. It's
Y'all
pretty
worry
fucked
me a
up,
little
but
bit. Y'all worry me a little bit.
I mean, I didn't make the game.
No, but this is also coming from the clan who in Ark, you know, why don't you tell my viewership how you deal with people who fuck with your shit in Ark, because that sent a chill down my spine and I'm a horror movie junkie.
You mean like imprisoning people? Is that what you're
Yeah.
talking about?
Yeah. Keeping them alive.
Yeah.
In a box.
Yeah, in a cage or a box. You can make a box too. Yeah.
But you would like feed them. Would you also feed them their own poop, or am I thinking of something different?
No, that's you. So you, like, if you're locked in a cage and you can't get out, you can eat your own poop to commit suicide, get out of the cage.
So you would steal
And
their
so
poop
part
from
of
them?
well, you can steal their poop from them, or you can like force feed them certain foods that make them poop less, or you can craft like once you get into the higher levels and stuff, you can craft handcuffs that prevent them from being able to access their inventory, so they can't pick up their poop.
So to recap, you'd put people in a cage, not a box, a cage, feed them just enough to keep them alive, but then also steal in on the reg and steal their poop from them so that they couldn't eat their own poop to kill themselves.
Yeah. You can also put them in a box, but then you can't see them. The nice thing about the cage is you can see them, and they can see you.
Yeah, I'm definitely not ever playing that game not on your side. Like that's definitely one I'm only playing it with ya, not against ya, 'cause that's horrifying. I think